Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Adobe Live. It's so good to have you all here. Welcome to Draw This in Your Style. Thank you so much for joining us this week for the special episode for Max Week. Woohoo! It's Adobe Max Week. Woohoo! Today we are doing a special one-off episode of Draw This in Your Style, and we are joined by the wonderful guest, Cory Cox. How are you doing,
Hello.
Cory?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Well, if you guys are new here, I will go ahead and explain what Draw This in Your Style is. Basically, it is when an illustrator will upload artwork online and they will invite anyone and everyone to recreate that artwork in their own personal artistic style. And we do that on this show, but with a little bit of a twist. Me and Cory chose a theme before the stream, and it was vampires. So we got a little bit of a spooky vibe, spooky music going on today, actually courtesy of my husband. He actually composed the music that is playing right now. And we created illustrations before the stream, and we are swapping them and drawing each other's on stream. But since this stream is only one episode instead of two, like it normally is, for the sake of time, we did our sketches ahead of time, and we are just going to be doing the fun part, coloring today, so you guys can see us add some color into our vampire illustrations. Also, today is very special because tomorrow is the first day we are kicking off Adobe Max, and you guys can join us at 9 a.m. Pacific to start watching all of the keynotes. It is going to be super fun. And also you can register at max.adobe.com, and you can also see all of the sessions there as well. There's hundreds of sessions like for every program. So if you guys are UI, UX, or illustration or graphic design, like you'll find something for you. Absolutely. So before we do that, before we head over to Photoshop, I am going to show off Cory's portfolio, and we are going to talk about like everything, who he is and what kind of artwork he does. And also on the screen, of course, you guys can see the schedule for Adobe Max. Let's head over to your Behance, actually, Cory, so we can show off some of your artwork.
Yeah, sounds good.
Some of your awesome artwork. I have known Cory for quite a few years now, almost as long as my husband, actually.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, we originally met on Twitch, and yeah, you do some really awesome sketching, character work, Cory. I've always really loved all of your work.
Oh, thank you. I've always been extremely intimidated by Cody's like confidence in like just place and color and shape. That's not how I work at all. So it's going to be really weird to see the two different styles going.
That's the fun of this show, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're checking out your Behance right now. I really love like the spider Sona characters that you got. You have such great anatomy, honestly. I really wish I could do anatomy like that.
I gotta come clean. The secret to that is to not be afraid to take pictures of yourself. Just throw up a tripod.
Yeah, for sure.
Do the goofy pose.
Yeah, for sure.
100% all of my references is usually just me. So.
So what kind of artwork do you typically create? Do you do like mostly these character designs?
Yeah, just a lot of little character stuff here and there. I used to do a lot more digital painting, and I found that it just got, for me, I would burn out before I would finish a piece. And so I have a very sparse Behance profile here. But not that long ago, I kind of stumbled into a sort of different style where I kind of like loop and like fill and then kind of paint from there. And so I am currently kind of working on a new sort of vibe for my illustrations. But otherwise I do a lot of like design and logo work and like brand asset type stuff for different folks. So
yeah, for sure. Actually, if some of you may know Stevie Ray Drawn, she was my first guest on Draw This in Your Style, actually. And Cory did her graphics for her Twitch stream back in the day. So here you guys can see it on the stream here. He did some animations for her and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Fun story about that. I took that commission from Stevie so that I could turn around and commission Cody to do a piece for mine and my wife's wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And it currently lives downstairs above our couch.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you for that intro, Cory. That's fantastic. We can go ahead and head over to Photoshop now. We're both going to be working in Photoshop today. You guys can check out our fun vampire illustrations. So I will show you guys the illustrations that we created before the stream. This one above me here is mine that Cory is going to be recreating. And this one is Cory's that I am going to be recreating. And if you guys want to participate, feel free to do so. We'd love to see your entries. We're actually going to be looking at some entries at the end of the stream as well. And you can post it online with hashtag Adobe Live DTIYS. And you can also post it on the Photoshop Discord as well in the Draw This in Your Style channel. So yeah, we can go ahead and get started coloring.
Cool.
Yeah. How did you fare recreating my illustration, Cory?
Oh my gosh. The thing is, you asked me to do this and I was like, yeah, 100%. And then the realization kicked in that I would have to draw something that you drew first, which was like really not a joke, like very intimidating to me because your style is so like cute, but like precise and kind of like you throw down color in a way that I'm not like, I can't bring myself to do. So it's very it's very different than how I work. So I'm trying to figure out how that translates into what I do. Mm-hmm. And we will see if I'm at all successful here.
I think that's definitely a really cool thing about just Draw This in Your Style in general, not necessarily just the show, but just the project in itself. It's like the idea of, did OBS just crash?
Did it?
Are we still live, you guys?
I mean, it looks good.
Oh my gosh. What just happened there? 1 second, you guys. Hang on. I'm so sorry.
I don't know. It looks all right.
I think my chat crashed. One second, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Chat says we're on.
Tech issues. 1 second, you guys. For some reason, my browser on my iPad just crashed. 1 second.
Okay. Well,
welcome
guys
can
to the
watch
Cory
Cory
only stream.
Yeah.
Kidding.
You guys can watch Cory while I fix this real quick.
Yeah. One of the weird things that I noticed about, because I've watched all the episodes. Usually I watch them later, and everyone goes about coloring in like a very different way than I do. And I came up in like comics. I used to be a colorist for some like small indie comics. And I go in and I like use the Lasso tool and I select everything out and I make flats and then I go and shade from there. And what's terrifying to me about everyone you've had on the show so far is that they just go in with a paintbrush like a psychopath, just like right in it, like super confident. And I'm like, I don't know how y'all are doing that. I have to make myself some guidelines. And
honestly, I feel like that sounds really relatable. And I'm sure a lot of people in chat can relate to that.
I hope so. I feel like there's got to be more of me out there that are like, how are y'all doing that?
I feel that way about sketching. I feel more confident about coloring and less confident about sketching. And I think that it's kind of, for a lot of people, it's like either or. Some people are just more inclined to coloring and some people are more inclined to line work. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel? Like, do you feel like you're more inclined? Yeah. Do you feel like you're more inclined to color or to sketching?
Because I feel like, oftentimes I'll get a sketch going and I'll really like it. And as soon as I get any color on it, I'm like, oh, I don't enjoy it anymore. And I don't know what that is. What inside me is like, there's something wrong here. And maybe it's just practice. Maybe I haven't done that enough lately.
Sure.
We'll see. Because I currently am like pretty okay. I'm liking how this line work came out. And I am really worried about adding some color into it now.
Have you ever considered just like, if you feel like coloring isn't necessarily your forte, let's say, have you considered just like going like the inking route with your artwork?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So I started in Photoshop in like Photoshop 6, not CS6, like Photoshop 6. It was like 1990 something.
Back in my day.
Yeah, and I got to poke around with it. But in like the 2000s, one of my teachers had Photoshop in his like computer lab, and he also happened to be like a huge comic book dude. And so he was like, "Hey, I'll draw some pencils out for you. You go and ink them in Photoshop for practice." And that is like what my art used to be, was almost exclusively just like inking and black and white styles. And then I think what happened was that I just got bored, and kind of was like, I bet I could do color. And I don't know if that's the case, but at least now I try, you know?
Yeah.
But
by the way, you guys, I know I was a little frazzled a little bit ago, but I realized that I didn't actually say hi to everyone in chat. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Annika, Sam, Viola, Rin. Hello. Good to see you, Steve. Jan. Oh my gosh, there's so many people.
My buddy
here.
Chandler is here.
Hey, Chandler.
I'm so excited.
Welcome. Julie. Hi. Julie's a friend from Instagram. She's got great artwork. Go check her out. Hi, Rin.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Chandler and I played D&D together.
Nice.
Friendship forged in storytelling.
You've done D&D characters for people in the past, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've done a lot of them for me too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There on my my profile, there's a piece. I don't know if I titled it at all, but it's like twin. I think it's probably called Twin Tonic.
Mm-hmm.
And those are mine and one of my friends' D&D characters that they were siblings, and so I just they're still my favorite characters that I've ever come up with, and I still draw them from time to time. It's super fun. Like, it's also really cool because if somebody comes to you and they're like, "Hey, here's a thing that only exists in my imagination, and can you do that?"
Right.
It's like, well, maybe. It's always interesting to see how other people interpret the same sort of fictional things, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because any artist you go to, it's gonna be a completely different interpretation.
Yeah. There we go. I feel like it looks like I'm not doing anything right now. all I've done is like make a selection here. I found like a lot of fun tricks with the Lasso tool over the years.
Oh yeah? Tell us. We want to know.
Yeah, so like I work, you can't see this, it's just off screen, but I work with my lasso in subtraction mode, because there's a hotkey. If you are drawing your selection in with the lasso tool, if you hold Alt, your lasso turns into the magnetic lasso tool for just a half second. So that way, cool. For me, when I'm trying to do like a whole big character but try and like zoom right in on a shoe or something, and I obviously need to get higher than this, I can kind of just hold Alt and pick up my little magnetic mouse and then just drag up, and it takes me to the top of the screen, you know?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah, this is one of those things that just like saves time. When you've got like a bunch of pages of comics to flat or something, and yeah, you've got like a day to do it. Don't want to be wasting your time on, the pen tool and making selections by individual points and stuff. Sometimes you just want to get in there, throw some.
We ain't got time
down.
For that.
Exactly.
Hey Wade, welcome. Good to see you. Hey Dee, welcome. Good to see you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Also, you guys, I'm wearing my if I can get my hair out of the way. My Max 2021 shirt. Let us know if anyone in chat, if you registered, if you won one of these in a raffle. I know our viewer Carol was saying that she just got hers in the mail. I think if I won this one from one of the raffles. If you registered early on, you could possibly win a t-shirt, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, let us know if you
win a t-shirt.
Yeah, let us know if any of you guys in chat won one.
That's awesome. Saw a few people already were participating in this one today on
Yes.
Instagram. And I was just like blown away by what was already happening out there.
I know, people are so fast.
I know that, yeah. I feel like when I sit down and I decide it's like art time, I've just committed myself. Like if it's not for somebody else, like if it's not a project, I've committed myself to who knows how long worth of working on something slowly forever. But we'll get it like real quick out there sometimes. I'm always impressed. Or like I listen to a lot of podcasts, and people love doing fan art of podcasts and stuff. And so it'll be crazy, like during like a live performance, you know, like it'll be happening right now, and then somebody's got like a finished, polished piece by the end of the thing. You're like, how did you do that?
That's so impressive.
Yeah, not me. No way, no how.
Salmon Chat says, I always get so impatient to start painting, but I've realized lately that I need to allow more time for the line work. That happens to me too. Like if I'm getting impatient, I'm like, I don't want to be sketching. I just want to get to the coloring. And then I end up regretting it because the piece just like ends up kind of almost feeling lazy. And then I just will drop it because I'm like, okay, it's not fleshed out enough, you know?
Yeah, I definitely have that problem too. If I realize late game that I messed up a building block early on, it's done. I'm not coming back to it anymore. So
for sure.
Yeah, it's just, we're starting a new thing. I don't know.
You got to get that foundation laid in.
Exactly. Oh boy. I'm trying to think of, often I'll just throw in colors when I'm flatting that are not what are going to be the eventual color of the thing, but it's easy on my eyes, and I have to look at it for a while I'm doing the flats.
Sure.
So right now he's got blue skin, but
I think a lot of artists do that actually. Like they'll just throw in random colors just to block everything in, and then they'll change it later. I mean, that's the benefit of digital art, you know? Exactly.
You know what I should have done is pulled up yours on a different window. Why am I?
Yeah, I've
got it on my phone. Hold on.
Windows.
I'm not
Tim
clever.
in chat says, "Oh, that's the same design I picked. Oh, for my shirt, nice twinsies." Nice. Rin says, "What? There was a raffle for shirts?" Yes. I don't know if they're still doing it or not. One of the other mods might have that answer. I don't know if maybe the raffle's already over. I think it might have only been for like early bird registration. We probably should have mentioned that when we were telling everyone to register. Jack in chat said, I got a shirt, picked the School of Fish design. Nice. You also get stickers with the shirt too, of all the designs too.
That's pretty cool.
Potato, welcome. Good to see you.
I always forget that. I'll like zoom in really close, and then I'll see the grid, and I'm like, ooh, nobody look at my shame. I shouldn't be this zoomed in yet.
Clever says, I want a shirt, got the stickers. Nice, Clever. Steve says, oh, sure, show off your prize shirts to all of us peasants who didn't get one. Peasants.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes you just gotta flex a little bit. Let's see. Let's do a little. The reason that I like flat out, like I'll do everything in like black, is because you can just control click on like the layer preview, and then you just get the full selection of that thing. And I'll use this mask like so frequently, because then you can also like control alt click to subtract other layers from that. And so now I don't have to worry about accidentally overpainting or selecting something twice. It's like that was a game changer for me more recently than I would care to admit.
Hey, we all learn different like tools in Photoshop at different times. I know,
right?
Like it felt like at one point when I learned about the lock transparency, it felt to me like everyone else knew about that except me. Like to this day, to be completely honest, I still don't fully know how to use regular masks. I only use clipping masks. I'll be completely honest with you guys, like because I don't use them regularly in my workflow. So I mean, I know the tools that I use regularly in Photoshop, and that's about it.
I mean, do you want to talk about masks? Because that is a thing that I use a lot of.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Tell everyone how to use masks.
Well, I don't know that I'm qualified to
to the best
teach
of your
everyone
ability.
how to use masks, but what's nice about it is that you know what, and we'll get into it shortly here, is that basically you can just define what is transparent and what is not with just black and white. So you don't have to worry about multiple layers or colors. Like I will typically throw all of my colors for a character into one group and then mask it off with like that first selection that I made, that like bounding box of the character. And then I'll be able to not, I can't accidentally paint out of the lines or anything like that.
Right.
But I think everyone else has like a different solution for that same problem. And I find it so interesting that everyone does it slightly differently.
Yeah, there's so many different ways in Photoshop to do the same thing.
I'm just now realizing that this cape didn't connect through.
Man, your clothing wrinkles on the cape look so good.
Ah, thanks.
I just saw that.
That took longer than I would like to say that it did.
So you were talking about earlier, so we were talking behind the scenes when we were doing each other's sketches. Cory was talking about how he was like struggling with the posing and stuff. So what did you do for that, Cory?
You're gonna make me show everybody?
Yeah.
I have a layer or a group rather that is just my references. And I always do this in like every piece. And so if you look in like the top corner, there's me and my cat doing the pose that I wanted to do. So that way I have reference like in the image. I just toggle the reference layer on and I can reference it while I'm drawing. The same with like this shoe is like, it's just a shoe that I own that I just had lying around because I needed reference. Or like that hand is hopefully close-ish to this hand because I just didn't have reference for that sort of stuff. It's hard to find when you're looking for very specific stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of why I wanted them to see it, the viewers, because like sometimes like you can spend hours and hours and hours online searching for one specific reference and you can't find it, when
100%. Really
you could just take 2 seconds. I mean, we all have cameras in our pockets, right? I mean, like you could take 2 seconds and just like make the reference yourself. And you can make it as specific as you need it to be, and it's just really helpful.
Yeah, you're gonna feel dumb doing it, I guarantee it. And you're not gonna want to look at them for very long, like especially if it's I do a lot for like facial expressions. And I hate looking at that folder of just me making goofy faces and stuff, but hey, it works. It works.
Tim in chat says, and you'll get meme material along the way.
Exactly. Speaking of meme material, back in like 2013 or 14, I'm not gonna show it because I think that would be mean. I was doing this piece that is like a head in a glass ball, right? It's on my Behance, and I made a joke like, I need reference for somebody with like a fishbowl on their head. And a few minutes later, I got a text from Codi that is just her with a glass bowl on top of her head. Like, is this good? And I have saved it this whole time. I just completely
forgot about that.
I found it the other day and I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot this existed. But that is, it helped. Weirdly, it did end up helping.
That's so funny.
Still in that folder.
Completely. I had no idea where you were going with that. I completely forgot that happened.
It was weird. I liked it a lot. Every so often I'll go through and I'll clean up my drives, and I'll just find gems. Like I just found one recently in college. One of my friends she was trying to like undercut, like shave side of her head. And I was like, I got clippers.
There you go.
And so there's a picture of like the group of the roommates just like in the bathroom, like holding up pieces of her hair, trying to like trim it off. think we need to talk about that picture. Tim wants to see it.
For totally unrelated reasons. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. Oh man. Now I have it. It's there. Sorry,
I bumped the mic, everyone.
Okay. I keep thinking I'm gonna as well. It's like right next to my tablet.
Sam in chat says, yeah, that was another recent realization of mine. I really need to start referencing my poses to get around some of the stiffness they often have. Yeah, I definitely deal with stiffness in my poses as well.
Me too.
Yeah. And I think that kind of goes back to like what I was talking about earlier, is that like I think I just like get impatient sometimes, and I get lazy almost in like in like creating my illustrations. So I'm like, yeah, I could make reference. But I'm not gonna. But I should.
Absolutely, I won't. I want to say that, you know what? That's on my reference layers. Hold on. It is part of the vest. I missed part of the vest.
Oh no.
Oh no. It's okay.
Annika says we need to see it. Ren says we all need to see it. It's probably lost in the archives.
Yeah. I'm gonna respect
I don't care. I mean, if you have it on hand, feel free to show it. I feel like
the statute of limits, I probably should have deleted it forever ago when I was done with the reference, but it was too funny. It was too funny to give up. Okay. I haven't decided if this diamond-shaped thing here is like a gem of some kind.
Oh.
I think I originally drew like an awkward bolo tie on this vampire, which I thought was just an absolutely wild choice.
I think, what did I do? I did like I did like a little puffy cravat.
Yeah, it's cute. I did not do that for some reason.
A gem would be really cool.
I was just kind of like, I think there needs to be something shiny there.
Yeah.
I haven't decided like what that's gonna be yet. Let's see. Let's get the shirt going again. Here we go.
Also, again, just reminding you guys, if you want to recreate mine or Cory's illustration, feel free to do so by posting it online. Most likely we'll see it on Instagram or on the Photoshop Discord in the Draw This in Your Style channel. If you put it, if you post it on, if you post it on Instagram, you can post it with the hashtag Adobe Live DTIYS, and we will be showing off some of your guys' entries towards the end of the stream. Also, this is the start of Max Week. Just reminding you guys, please tune in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. PT, because that is when the keynotes start. And we got lots and lots of fun new news about the Adobe programs. Indeed.
Looks like Cory has it. They're still talking about it.
Cody doing her best Dracula impression. Bleh.
Bleh.
Spooky, scary.
Oh my god, that's the best. Okay, let's see here. I'm almost done with my flats. I swear I'm actually doing stuff. I
only have flats, so.
Okay. The downside of this this technique is that, yeah, I do feel like it looks like I haven't accomplished anything for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, have something going on at least.
Like a magic trick. You just like, oh, nothing's happening, and boom, everything's done.
Boom, bam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make these purple so I can differentiate them.
I think you should just keep them purple, basically.
These are the colors now.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and I was like, how am I gonna do pinstripes? Because I was doing this like little seam on the leg, this like little press seam.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can't do that more than once per leg. Like there's no way I can do pinstripes. I don't know does chat have any ideas about like a fun way that I could cheat that in a little bit? I don't work with like patterns very often. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's an option though.
Patterns are really difficult. This is part of the reason why I actually got rid of clothing folds in my artwork altogether, because I always really struggled with clothing folds, and I was like, well, what if I just don't do them?
I mean, yeah.
So that was my solution.
I was talking with I told my mom that I was going to do this. And she was like, what would you say that your style is? And I was just like, I hope they don't ask, right? Like, I hope nobody thinks to ask me that question.
Relatable. Definitely. I'm sure everyone can relate to that.
It's like, I think the sad truth is that, like, for me, style ends up being whatever corners I happened to cut over and over, like from piece to piece. That is, whatever's left is style.
No joke. So... that is literally what artistic style is. I'm not even kidding. I talk about that all the time. It is the tiny little decisions that an artist continues to make over and over and over again consistently. I mean, and those are the types of things, like for me, in my specific circumstance, like I said, like clothing folds. Nope, suddenly my style just doesn't have clothing folds in it. The reason I started drawing like dot eyes is because I struggled drawing realistic eyes. So there you go.
I very much struggle with eyes. And I was shocked that this time around, these came out like on like the second try. And I was like, that's a record. Let somebody write it down. Cory did eyes today.
I have to say also, your vampire's hair is like perfectly coiffed. It is
what I wish my hair would look like.
Beautiful.
I swear. But you gave yours like this cool widow's peak, and I was like, can I do that? But kind of like in a modern, like,
oh yeah,
young way. I don't know.
Totally.
Something about vampires, like I know that like the trope is like they're old and like scary and stuff, but like there's also this trope of vampires that they're like eternally young and, you know, kind of good looking. And so I'm like, kind of want to do that, because I never do that. Like I would almost tend to err towards the side of like creepy,
right?
Because it's, for me, harder to draw like youthful faces. So that's my struggle.
There you go.
I meant to get the teeth, not the mouth. There we go.
Hey, Kieran, welcome. Woohoo, Max. Indeed. Yes, Max. Exciting days ahead.
Totally relatable. Yeah, Ren. You get it. Here we go. Okay. I think I've got flats in there. I think I got flats. I'm not laboring under the delusion that I'll be able to render everything out today. So I think we just got to start somewhere.
For sure. Potato just asked if we've saved, and I have not. Okay, so I'm going to save now. Thank you, Potato.
That's a great tip. Thank you for that. I can't tell you how many times when I'm working on art or like editing or like something, you'll get that one moment where everything freezes up for just a moment. And you can see your life flash before your eyes. Like, how long has it been since I've saved? That's
87 years.
Yeah. Thank you for the water reminder. I forgot about
that. Kieran says, this looks awesome. I'm getting total 90s Scooby-Doo cartoon villain vibes. Oh yes. God. Oh yes. I see that.
The highest of compliments.
Yes.
I'm so into that. Currently, there's an artist that I follow, and my phone lock screen is the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo in their style. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's a little bit of like bleed over here that I wasn't anticipating.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like those inspirations that kind of like just like slowly seep in.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. I know in college I had this one teacher who was like perpetually upset with me. And not because I was like, a bad student. It was because I had like hallmarks of like, this is what I do. And at the time I was in a real big Tron hyperfixation. And so, I mean, I haven't grown out of that, but I definitely was like only using black, white, neon blue, neon orange, right? Like that was all I had going on. And he was just like, I wish I knew that you knew there were other colors out there. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. This is where I'm at right now. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But until he pointed that out, I hadn't realized like, clearly I'm drawing from something here.
Yeah. And funny enough, you're using gray, light gray-ish white.
As I was
and
saying
blue.
That, I was like, somebody's going to call me out right now.
Of course it's me.
I've got my identity disc and my little recognizer that I printed and I 3D printed like right there in front of the desk, so it's always on my mind. You gotta have a gimmick.
There you
go. Bad sci-fi. That's my thing.
That's your style.
That's my style.
Scooby-Doo and bad sci-fi.
1990 bad sci-fi combo. Okay, now the last thing I want to do here is figure out that gem. And
Wade says Tron for life.
Yes. Thank you, Wade. Not remembering what I say. Oh yeah. That's awful. Yeah. Yeah, it happens to me a lot. A lot more these days because I've been working on other projects. I've been doing a lot of audio editing lately, and I will load like a plugin, and then everything will freeze. And every time that happens, I fear for my life just a little bit. Like I'm gonna lose all my work.
Do you have autosave on?
No. In that software, I think it exists. I don't really know how to configure it.
Right.
I make our podcast in music creation, like it's a DAW, and so it's really not meant for that. And one time I ran into a bug, and I went to the forums and I was like, hey, I'm having this problem when I load files that are like 5 hours long, and they were like, why are you loading 5 hour long files? And
maybe you should cut back.
Yeah, and I told them why, and they were like, we've never heard of anybody using this software for that. And I was just like, well,
whoops.
It is what it is. And to their credit, they helped me out and they figured out my bug and they fixed it for me in the next update. But I think it was just like, I am that user who never conforms to the use case, Saving is for people who don't have to restart their 9 hour project. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I got flats. I think we're good.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, damn. And it only took me 40 minutes.
There you go.
I feel like that is a problem.
This is why we decided to do coloring today, because 1 hour, only a 1 hour segment is so short. Oh, I wish we guys, I can't speak today. I'm sorry. I wish we could do another segment with Cory. Sadly, we cannot. But I'm so glad that we were able to do a segment today, regardless.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so stoked to be here. You don't even know. Because I also you and I haven't done art at the same time in I don't even know how long, So it was just very cool to get an opportunity to hey, it's on my calendar. I have time to draw right now.
Yeah, so right. For sure.
It's very cool.
That's a reminder to everyone. Make sure you block out some personal art time on your calendar.
Yeah, for real.
Do it right now.
Right now. Okay. I should have decided where the light source is on this one before I started coloring, huh?
Yeah.
That's tricky. Okay. We're just gonna go generic, I think. Just kind of a generic light.
General light. Ambient light.
General light.
There you go. General light.
Let's just throw some shapes in here and see what we get.
I'm kind of going for a much more spooky, ghosty palette here that I don't normally go with. I'm doing a lot of cool tones and grays lately.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was really digging it.
I'm hoping it'll work out here, but it seems to be going all right so far.
It looks great.
Thanks. Jenna in chat says, hello, any good tips for someone starting to find their own drawing style? What do you think, Cory?
This is going to sound like the worst because it's not the advice that you want to hear, but just draw a bunch.
Yeah.
And then when you're done drawing a bunch, I'm talking a week, you know what I mean? Go and look at everything that you've made and see what's already in common. Because chances are you have style and you're the only one who can't see it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you ask other people what your style is, they'll have an answer. And that's, it's just hard to figure out what your own is. Looking at your own art is like not a fun or easy process.
Yeah, it's very true, because we're our own worst critics, right? You know?
Yeah.
So I mean, your style, we were just mentioning this earlier, your style, what I like to say personally is that it's like all of those little tiny consistent decisions that you make as an artist that maybe you, like we were saying earlier, maybe you struggle with clothing folds, so you just omit clothing folds like I did, and you just kind of like make those tiny little decisions and kind of like problem solve your artwork basically throughout years and years of doing artwork, and it'll kind of slowly develop over time how you just naturally draw. I mean, your style just kind of like finds you and how all of the little decisions that you make. And you can also be like really intentional about it too. Like there are definitely like a lot of artists online that I'm like, oh, I really love how they did this, and I'll kind of take those ideas from a ton of different artists and kind of like make it my own and add all of those different ideas into my own artwork, you know? And so you can be intentional about your choices as well. It's not, you know, maybe not necessarily just natural, but you can also, you can also like learn a style. Like for instance, for me, like I was very intentional about like learning forced perspective for my artwork. And that took a lot of like self-discipline to really kind of like retrain my brain to learn that, to incorporate it into my artwork. So it's just like finding what really interests you and what kind of styles interest you, and just drawing a lot, because you have to be able to make those pieces and come across those problem solving issues to be able to like overcome them, you know?
Yeah, I think that was really well put.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think I have a slightly more cynical view on art than I think a lot of my friends do, and I think that's because like I just have this thing where it's like really hard for me to pick one thing and be like, that's what I do. You know what I mean? And I think that it's more fun for me personally to bounce from thing to thing, and that's why I kind of struggled being like, I don't have style, and then somebody pointed out like, I don't know, I can see it.
Right.
Interesting. Like maybe it's that way for others too. All right, this is getting out of control. Focusing too hard on the big stuff. Let's get back in there with the small
Rin
things.
in chat says, some other advice I've come across is to create mood boards, collections of art that appeal to you as a person that your eye is drawn to, and study that art 100%. And think about what tools and colors they have used to achieve the elements that you're drawn to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Big time. That's really well put. I definitely agree with that. Like gaining inspiration outside of the art community as well. Because I think with social media, there's also this tendency to like kind of copy each other, like because we all kind of like live in this little bubble of a community online. So like looking towards your other hobbies outside of art, like for instance, for me, it's like gardening and stuff like that. So you can really see those influences in my artwork, because that's where I gain my inspiration from. So, and that can also help set your artwork apart by just being really true to yourself and figuring out what your personal passions are, and kind of just like sticking with that.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Like a lot of the things that I really enjoy are like, you know, video games, movies, good stories like sci-fi novels, and like really old PC adventure games and stuff like that. And that definitely has influence on what I do artistically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know that is like, I'm not like consciously thinking about that. I think it just kind of happens when you aren't expecting it to. I don't like this piece right here. This is driving me nuts.
Ooh, the dimension on the face looks really good. You got going on there, Cory. The planes of the face looks, and it's like nice and sharp.
I struggle with this.
Yeah, I feel like it's very vampire-y, like that sharp cheekbone.
I need him to have like them high cheekbones. There we go. Yeah. And I think a lot of what I've been doing lately is not wanting to think about shading that much. And so trying to like simplify them out to their basic shapes and then being like, well, that's it. That's all we're doing.
Right.
It's been really helpful for me. So it might take some time, but I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, probably I'd say, I guess it's been 2 years that I have been doing flat colors for my artwork. Excuse me. And I really enjoy it. I feel like I enjoy the coloring process a lot because it just kind of feels like I'm coloring in a coloring book. And it's just like very relaxing and cathartic, just to kind of fill in lines, basically. I'm even using a crayon brush like a little kid.
I love that though. It's definitely the good stuff. Okay.
Speaking of brushes, what brush are you using, Cory?
It is just like a little hard round brush with nice. a pressure on it. But I do for some other stuff. I know that everyone has been talking about the Kyle brushes. I did mean to ask you about this. Are they built in now? Is that what you were telling?
Yeah, so back in the day when I originally found Kyle's brushes, I randomly found them on Tumblr, actually, some random Tumblr posts, and I was like, oh wow, those look really cool. And
I found them through you. So.
And I've been using Kyle's brushes for like probably like close to 10 years now at this point. Yeah. And so yeah, now Kyle Webster is an Adobe evangelist now. And he streams on Adobe Live, actually. Also, if you guys are interested in seeing any of his shows, he does a show called Brush Hour where he goes through his brushes and kind of talks about them and stuff. And he has a draw along show. But yeah, so Kyle's brushes are built into the Creative Cloud now. If you have a Creative Cloud subscription, you get all of his brushes for free.
That's so
and
cool.
Yeah, if you just have the brush brush menu open and you go to the gear icon and then go down to get more brushes, it'll open your browser and you can download his brushes.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just like, I'm not seeing. The problem is I already had mine loaded. Like I bought them like 5 on his Gumroad years ago. Yeah. And so I have them, but I was just like, wait, if other people still need them, is there an easier way for me to like point them to?
Yeah.
Because that'd be nice. But I use those primarily for sketching. I really like how they feel. And then for rendering like skin and stuff, it's an artist named Keenan Lafferty.
Yes, Keenan has such great stuff.
He's got some great brushes. Specifically, this chalk brush here is out of this world. It has made its way into just about every piece I've made in the last 5 years or so. And it's especially good for background detail and stuff too.
For sure. Yeah. Keenan was actually one of the first YouTubers for artwork that I found when I first got into digital art. And he has some really awesome tutorials. He used to be a splash artist for Riot, and he did League of Legends splash art and stuff that. Yeah. Yeah. So he's got really great color and light tutorials on YouTube and drawing tutorials in general. If you guys want to check him out, Keenan Lafferty.
There's a whole. The coolest thing ever is that like when I was starting to draw in like 3rd grade or whatever, that was it. You had to know somebody who was like good at drawing and hope that they would like tell you how they did it, you know? But now it's like, well, shoot, like you could just get on YouTube and there is somebody who is just an absolute expert in their craft. And they'll teach it to you right now. So that's
like Adobe Live, wink, wink.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's just very cool. I can't tell you like how much I've learned from just watching other people do the same thing I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? I know I learned a ton from you forever ago, and then like Sam is in the chat.
Sam Peterson,
yeah, I learned a ton there too.
Well, Cory, it is about that time.
I know it.
I can't believe the stream is already over. It went by so fast.
It really did.
We are going to head over and check out some of our wonderful entries from you guys, mostly on Instagram. We have a couple of entries today that were for this theme, and I wanted to show those off specifically. Let's refresh just in case there's any new ones here.
There might be.
We have a couple of vampires already today. This one is so cute.
I know.
Oh, it's so cute.
The bats on that one.
Yes, I love the pink background too. It looks really good with the red and black.
Like washy, yeah. I love
it. Really great texture and the little face on the ghost speech bubble.
So good.
So cute. Vanilla Doodle Doo, if you're in chat, thank you so much for participating. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We love your work. And there was another one. Oh yes, this one.
Yeah, there it is. I cannot stop thinking about how nice the texture is on the bottom of that ghost on the right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, so
right
nice.
Here shows up really good against the coffin. So and these pants, I really love the shape of the character. It's like just like an A shape, like really nice use of simple shapes like that. It's really beautiful. Holly Green, thank you so much for participating. Really appreciate it. Go check out their work. Yeah, for sure. And also I wanted to show some of the entries from our last theme as well with Elena. Really beautiful. This one, I love this one, Biva. Thank you so much for participating. Such amazing textures. So beautiful. Yeah. It just like, it almost looks like a traditional painting. I don't think that it is. But
I was just wondering that.
I don't think that it is. But the textures are so beautiful. It looks like pastel chalk or something like that. Yeah. So cute. And this one was really cute too. Oh, the color palette that they used. And they did also a flat perspective, which is really nice. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
Such beautiful details. It's always so fun on Draw This in Your Style just to see everyone's different interpretations, because sometimes they're completely different, or like this one they'll use like a completely different color palette, but it's still so beautiful. Like, wow, I can't work with blue at all, so this is awesome. Great work. Slam B Design, thank you so much. Oh, here's a watercolor one. Oh, so cute.
Oh. I love that so much.
Oh, they got like the little stovepipe coming out of the little house here. That's adorable.
That makes me want to use some watercolors again.
Yeah, I know, really right?
Nice.
This one's got kind of like a colored pencil texture. They got some really cool shapes too, like kind of almost abstract.
Y'all are intimidating. It's very good stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like it almost at first glance looks like it's not intentional, but then you keep looking at it and it's like, oh, those shapes were definitely intentional.
100%.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, and here's Elena's finished piece actually too. I don't know if in case you guys didn't see it. Yeah. It's so cute. I love the color palette. It's so beautiful. All right, you guys. Oh, did I show this one last time? This one was really beautiful too. Really cool wood grain and textures put in there. Yeah, very beautiful. If you guys want to check out more of these awesome entries, you can do so just by going to the hashtag #AdobeLiveDTIYS on Instagram, and you can, go follow some really great artists. So go find some new artists, go make some friends and such, in the community. But it is about that time. So thank you all so much for joining us. Also, don't forget to head back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. PT to watch the Adobe Max keynotes, and also stick around because we will be having office hours with Andrew Hawkrado and Nick Longo up next. and they are themed to the max. So I am so excited to see their theming, their theming and their show that they have planned for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.